Jehoiakim was king of Judah. Before Judah was destroyed, God allowed King Nebuchadnezzar to attack Jerusalem and win. He brought back some of the treasures from the temple and some of the strongest and smartest young men from the royal and noble families to be servants in his palace. The king planned for these young men to be trained in the ways of Babylon and learn its language. He wanted them to become part of his nation. The young men were to be trained for 3 years, and then they would serve the king. One of the young men who was captured and brought to Babylon was named Daniel. Daniel knew that the food the king had provided him to eat went against God's commandment. So Daniel asked permission from the king's chief servant to eat something else. The chief servant liked Daniel, but he was afraid of the king. "What if he sees you looking less healthy than the other young men?" the chief servant said. "The king might punish me." Daniel said, "Please, test us for 10 days. Let me and my friends eat vegetables and drink water, so that we do not disobey the law of our God. Then examine how we look compared to the other young men and decide based on what you see." The guard agreed to this test. At the end of the 10 days, Daniel and his friends who ate vegetables and drank water were better and healthier than all the other young men. So the guard continued to allow them to eat only what God had commanded. God rewarded these young men for their obedience. He gave them knowledge and understanding in every kind of writing. He also gave Daniel the ability to understand visions and dreams. When the king saw all the young men, he found Daniel and his friends to be far superior to the rest and appointed them as his attendants. In every matter that the king consulted these young men about, he found them 10 times better than all the other advisors in his kingdom. Daniel was faithful to obey God, even in the small matters like eating the correct foods. Jesus was faithful to obey God in every way. When we trust in Jesus as Savior, God credits us with the perfect life Jesus lived.